more touch points for less people in the right accounts. That is how you get into your top accounts. Do more prospecting to fewer people across multiple channels: email, call, and video. That is how I got into nearly every large prospect that I was targeting. Good morning, everyone. It's Ian Koniak, and today I'm going to do a masterclass on how to prospect, specifically how to get into large strategic accounts that you're targeting. So first off, we're going to talk about the main mistake that people make when they're prospecting that prevents them from getting into accounts, and I'll tell you how to fix that mistake. So let's dive right into it. The number one mistake people make, for most people, is they do few touch points to a lot of people or prospects. Okay, so this is the number one mistake that prevents you from getting in. When I say few touch points, they do 1 to 3 touch points. That's emails or calls, and they stop and they give up. This whole approach, okay, is wrong. Screw you up. That's not how you get in. Okay, so if you have an account list of 50 accounts, most people will identify 2 or 3 people in each account. So they have 150 contacts, okay? And they're spread out, and they'll do a lot of marketing to a lot of people, and they'll do it at the surface level, all right? So they might have 150 contacts. They might reach out 1 to 3 times to each person per contact. So that's 150 to 450 reach outs. And then they give up. This is the grind that doesn't work, especially if you're selling to large companies. You reached out 450 times, so you're pounding and pounding over and over again, and you're not getting anywhere, right? The reason why is because this 1 to 3 touch point does not work. On average, it takes between 8 to 12 touch points to book an initial meeting. Most people give up between 1 and 3. That's the problem. Okay, so that is what we're trying to avoid right now. It takes 8 to 12 touch points to book a meeting. Most people give up between 1 and 3. My first year at Salesforce, I got Rookie of the Year because I sent 15 emails to the CIO of St. Joseph Hospital, my largest prospect. And I think he started replying to me after 7 or 8 emails and a bunch of phone calls. So what you want to do, let's say we have the same list of 50 accounts. You got 50 accounts, but instead of calling everyone, what you want to do is you want to narrow that list to 10 accounts. You want to take whatever your account list is and make it a lot smaller. My rule generally is top 20% of your territory is what you want to do. So if you have 50 accounts, you're going to focus on 10 accounts. Now, within those accounts, you want to find more people to go after. Rather than just scratching the surface, you're going to try to find top 5 execs that you're going to prospect to. You're going to identify your top 5 executives right here, okay? And now you have 50 targets that you're going after, okay, or 50 people instead of 150 people, which would be the case if you had 50 accounts and found 3 people. So you find more people in fewer accounts, okay? What you focus on magnifies. So pick your top accounts based on the potential, based on the number of employees, based on the revenue, based on the industry. Look at your ICP, see where you're most likely to do well, and focus there. So now we have 50 contacts to go after. Okay, we got 50. Remember what I said, it takes 8 to 12 touch points to book a meeting. So here's what we want to do. You want to have at least 10 touch points per person. So now we have a total of 500 touch points, right? So if you looked here in this scenario 1, right? Scenario 1, we did 450 touch points. We did 150 people times 3 where people give up. in this scenario, we only have 10 accounts, but we have 5 people. That's 50 times 10 touch points per person, okay? So you're actually touching them 500 times total, but it's to 10 accounts and 5 executives. That's the way to prospect, okay? The key, right? The key, I'm gonna do a new whiteboard so this thing isn't so messy, but the key is more contacts for less people. That's the key, okay? More contacts to less people. Now, you're probably saying, well, I don't want to bug them 10 times. That's a lot. What do I say in each 10 times? Don't worry, I'll get to that. In fact, I'll make a video about it next week and I'll post it here and I'll show you exactly what to contact each time so that you're educating them and you're nurturing them rather than annoying them and just following up incessantly, okay? But the key for now is we got 10 accounts times 5 contacts, right? Times 10 touch points equals 500 touch points. Now, how many can you actually do in a day, realistically? If you have a quality message that's thought out, that's relevant, that's personalized, because it's only 10 accounts, you can do a little research, you can look at the person, the individuals, and create something of quality. I found in 20 years of doing this that about the maximum that anyone can do with any type of quality is about 20 per day. Okay? 20 touch points per day. That's about the maximum. And the touch point is an email, a call, a video, any outbound prospecting. Okay, 20 a day. That's probably takes about 2 hours or so, 2 or 3. If you can do this efficiently, if you do it enough, right? Realistically, you can do 20 in a block of 2 or 3 hours. Okay. I'm not talking about just going down a list dialing. I'm talking about thoughtful message. If you just dial for dollars, yeah, you can do a lot more, but that's not what we're talking about. All right, we're talking about quality. So we have 20 per day times 5 days equals 100 a week. So if we have 5 people per account, right? In 4 weeks, you get to 400. You almost cycle through those 10. So that month, you focus on those 10 accounts and you can get everyone on your list within your top 10 accounts hit up 10 times. Again, most people delete the email, they ignore the phone call, but when they hear from you over and over again, and it educates and nurtures them, right? Eventually they do respond. So this is the way to get in for prospecting. So in a 22-day business month, right? 20 per day, you're talking about 440. So you're almost hitting your whole entire territory within your top 20% of your accounts. Now, what channels are we doing for these 10 touch points? Typically, what I recommend is you're going to do more or less 6 emails plus 3 phone calls plus a video. So imagine day 1, right? You reach out, you say, hey, I'm reaching out to you because I noticed you're focused on these key areas and your company has these goals. I think we can help you. I'd love to meet with you. Let me know if you're open to a discussion. That's your first email. Then you call. Combine an email with a call and you reference the email that you sent. Okay? If you want to know how to do this, watch the video, how to combine an email with a phone call that you can watch for another free training, but you combine the email with the video. Okay? That's day 1. Really simple. Okay? And then you do a LinkedIn connection request. So now they hear from you 3 times. They got a phone call, they got an email, and they got a LinkedIn connection request. You wait a few days. You don't just bombard them the next day. I usually wait 2-3 days, put it in your calendar, and follow up again in 2 or 3 days with another email. Didn't hear back from you yet. Wanted to provide a little bit more context as to how we can help. So now you're building upon the first email, and then you call again. So now we're already at 5 touch points within the first week. So it's pretty easy to get to 10 touch points for one person. Okay, I'm going to make another video in terms of the type of content that you want to include with each of these touch points, which I'll reference. But the key is that you're doing it across phone, plus email plus LinkedIn video. Now you might be wondering, well, how do I do a video? You can do it via Loom, you can do it via Vidyard, or you can just do a selfie and put it in LinkedIn when they get your connection request. Okay, when they accept it, when you can direct message them. So now you have an executive who's heard from you via email that's tailored. They're getting phone calls from you. They get a video. They're not getting that from 99.99% of anyone else. I'm talking about the standard BDRs that are sending crappy sequences. No offense to the standard BDRs sending crappy sequences, but that's what's going out. That's what I get every single day as a CEO. I get junk, unfortunately. It's marketed, mass marketed. Don't send junk. The 10 touch points should feel like it's just for them. They're an executive. So you got 5 execs, C-suite, VP, maybe senior director, right? Getting 10 touch points across one company. That means you hit them up, right? 50 times. If you only have capacity to do 20 a day, you could spread yourself thin and hit a lot of people and cast a wide net with crap, or you can be specific and personalized for fewer accounts relevant to the individual or the company and hit them up more times and fewer people. That's what we want. We want more touch points for less people in the right accounts. That is how you get into your top accounts. So if you're going to prospect, do more prospecting to fewer people across multiple channels, email, call, and video. That is how I got into nearly every large prospect that I was targeting. Okay? That is the key. It is persistence. It is consistency in its organization for follow-up. Okay? But more than anything else, okay, the most important thing is that you stay the course with the same individual and get them 10 times. You'll see they'll probably respond at time 8 or time 9 or time 10, not 1, 2, or 3. It's the ones that stay consistent and combining channels with phone and video. Those are the ones that actually get the meetings. So this is all you need to do with your prospecting strategy. Don't go wide and spread yourself thin. Go deep with fewer people and hit them more times with quality content. Next week, stay tuned. We're going to do a video on how to create quality content for each person that doesn't annoy them and that's new and fresh every single time. So if you need help, right, with this, watch the video right here on the number one tip that the biggest mistake people make for phone prospecting. I'm going to share with you how you combine email and phone prospecting to make these actual touch points count. Hope this helps. Take care.